Good morning, guys. What's going on? This is Darrell Addison at Torpedopot.com. Darrell Addison at Torpedopot.com, and these are my kale plants, and as you can see that they're so huge. And we put them in last year around September of last year. They went through the winter time, and these plants they bounce back. When they bounce back during the spring, they just really start to thrive and grow. So what I wanted to show you is that when I come to do my harvest, these are my kale, my broccoli, and so many other plants we have on the property we've planted. Is that you don't go through and you don't tear and eat the whole plant. I can cut this whole plant down and provide a delicious meal for myself and my family if I wanted to. But we don't choose to do that. What we want to do is continually grow your food. So what I've done is that I'm coming back. I just started cutting these right now, where I'm just really cutting the heads off of the plants. I'm not really cutting down the plant at all. Why do I want to cut the heads down? Because I want this plant to continue to produce food for me. I'm not trying to harvest once. I'm trying to harvest for the rest of this plant's life. I want it to be able to produce food for me throughout its full life cycle. You do not understand the plant's full life cycle. So most of you, what you do is that you come in at the end of the harvest, you take the plant, you cut it down, you bring it out, and then it's done. I want you to stop doing that, okay? I want you to focus on plants that continually produce food for you and your family, that will give you food security like you've never had before. So I've got so much food growing with so many planters. I think we started out with about 20 of these kale planters, and they're still growing. Now I've got to go back and start harvesting from these planters because the plants are getting really big. We had a good rain yesterday night, so watch me. When I go to do my harvest, I don't cut down the whole plant. I go for the main stem. And I cut off the main stem. When I see it about to produce and come to a head like that, I want to get my food out early. So I want to cut it up really well. Okay, isn't it healthy and strong? That is one beautiful plant. That is gorgeous. That is absolutely gorgeous. And so what we're going to do before they go to a blossom, we're going to enjoy ourselves a delicious meal from this plant. I want to see how thick that is. That is a sign of a very healthy plant, okay? And we haven't used, remember now, it's just the early spring, okay? Most of you haven't even touched the ground. It rained yesterday, it just destroyed everything. Most of you have not touched the ground, but with Torpedopot, we're already eating our food. We put this in last year and it comes back. We don't have to start the ground over and turn it over and buy new soil in the ground and bring in new underground systems and water systems and all other stuff. We don't need any of that stuff. We set it and we forget it. So my goal is really not to touch the plant. I don't care. I'm going to get a lot more of these buds coming up, and they're going to be delicious and tender and juicy. As a matter of fact, I've got so many coming up. What I do is I go through the garden, I just bite them and eat them because I know that they're either, when I cut the tops off of it, it'll produce a lot more energy to the leaves, and the leaves themselves should be able to get bigger. But it's going to start generating new stems coming up, new buds. And I just take my liberty to enjoy these buds and eat them. And the food you're getting from the Torpedopot is like nothing you've ever seen before in your life. Is that not amazing or what? That is one amazing plant. That is an amazing, amazing plant. So it's Easter. Oh, look at this. My Brussels sprouts My broccoli's doing really great. I love that. Look at that. But I'm not going to touch it yet, okay? Because I got so much other stuff to choose from. Okay, so I'm just going to take off all the major heads so we can have ourselves a nice little breakfast here. And I think for now, I've got a couple more heads. I want to let them grow, but I think I'm going to take them off. Because they come back so fast. I got so many in so many different places around the property to choose from. I don't necessarily have to limit myself. So during our Easter breakfast, or our holiday breakfast, we're going to enjoy this delicious meal. And that's what you should do also. Darryl Addison at Torpedopot.com, where we have our cold seasonal vegetables are out now. So you don't plant tomatoes at this season. You plant cooler temperature plants that will be successful in this temperature and in this environment. And so we choose kale because we always need a supply of food that is really not seasonal, but continually produces over and over and over again. The kale that you see here, like I said, I planted during the September of last year, but these right here were planted from seeds. These seeds go back, and I would say we started them probably about March of last year. And when we put these seeds in, we harvested them as microgreens. But we would let the seedlings remain in here so they can mature and grow. We can have them throughout the year. Now, it's great that you have your tomatoes, it's great that you have your onions and all these things. They really add a lot of flavor to your meal. But the core base meal, you need something, some roughage, that you know is going to produce a lot of food. So our core base roughage will be things like collard greens, will be things like cabbage, it'll be things like kale. You know, celery is a core base thing. Celery grows extremely well and extremely fast. And that's what we're doing here at Torpedopot. So again, we have a huge amount of plants to choose from to eat. But today we're going to eat the kale. And I'm going to cook it down and have a delicious breakfast, a healthy breakfast. So what makes this food so good is because this food has been grown in an environment, a biotic environment in your planter that allow you to get the vitamins and nutrients that you deserve. This is not something in a bottle you get from the store shelf. Remember now, if they're not synthetic, the vitamins you're getting from the store shelves, where do they come from? They come from plants. They come from plants. So I want you to not go out and buy a box, not only buy vitamins when you have food insecurity, but I want you to also rely on your food, because the biotic environment that you get from your food will help your body metabolize and derive those nutrients so that you can walk and see and touch and smell and have all the functional features that you should have, characteristics you should have in a person who is healthy. Get Torpedopot. It'll grow your food for you. Darryl Addison, Torpedopot.com. Darryl Addison, Torpedopot.com. Thank you guys. All right, bye-bye.